The following presentation is brought to you by the Hatboro-Horsham Television Network.
But tonight's game brought to you tonight by Horizon Services, plumbing and heating and air conditioning, the premier plumbing, heating, and air conditioning company, and by Fast Signs. More than fast, more than signs, Fast Signs.
With 2 locations in Montgomeryville and Doylestown.
Thank you, Bill. All right.
Hatters have a 3rd and 13 on the 25-yard line after a 3-yard loss on the rush.
Yeah, you're going to have to see pass here, too. And, you know, it was a good ball. It was a good ball by Casey Walsh. I mean, he had a nice one out there, rolled to his left. Paranisi just needs to come up with that one. So 3rd down, and Walsh back to pass, of course. He has to get it out there with a lot of pressure. Little screen off to Noru. And Kingsley Noru will pick up a few, but not enough for that 1st down. And the punting unit will come out for Hatboro-Horsham. So 2 just kind of, let's, get ready, warm up type of series here early for both teams. And we'll see who's able to capitalize on the lack of offense so far. So you saw a big pass rush there on Pennridge's side. And number 87 breaking through there and forced the pass out fast from Walsh. So Hatboro-Horsham back to punts. And it's a good punt. Pretty good clearance. And Hatboro-Horsham right there to meet him. Great hit. Great stop. Pennridge not able to return that one at all, and they will start 1st and 10 on right around the 38-yard line. All right, take a look at your Pennridge offensive starters tonight. And there's Ian Mosser again at tight end. And he was the guy who also just came through on the defensive break. Austin Regan, Mark Funk, Luke Blasquill, Zach Hoffman, Sophie Good, Ryan Cuthbert at wide receiver, Inier Simmons, Devin Ballmer, Judah DeRogers, and Matt Farida. And you'll see Farida out there at the running back position as well. He's one of those 3 running backs that are trying to take the place of Mr. Mike Cass, who is one of the all-time rushing leaders in Pennridge history, and now is a freshman at Westchester University. So really going to be something to see how they can replace somebody like Mike Cass. And so far we haven't seen much offense from Pennridge. Bringing up a 2nd and 13 now.
If you look at the Pennridge offense so far, it's been mainly rushing, and so far, though early still here in the beginning part of the game, they've already lost 4 yards to rushing. I'm not sure if the Hatters defense is going to be able to control that. Well,
they went deep that one play. Palmer went deep on that first play, but it just didn't have a lot of zip on it. You're right. Devon Ballmer, 5'10", 190 junior, is our starting quarterback, number 10. Let's take a look at the Hatters defense tonight. We see out there as they are facing a 3rd and 9. Kingsley Naru, Joe Lee back there, almost had the pick early. Charlie Obrick going both sides for us tonight. Joe Albano right there in the middle, as number 44 should be. Kyle Owen, Anthony I'm going to get his name right eventually. Robert Fitzgerald, Jordan Mason, Luke Gelhaus, Luke Kwan, rounding out the defense for us tonight. Paranisi, I will get that right. Oh, a little bumble inside, shovel pass up the middle. They're able to make something out of that one. A little last-minute desperation shuttle pass to Joan Angst, number 20, and looks like he's going to be just short of the 1st down. And now they're saying he crossed it. All right, so 1st down. So that one really able to make up something, because that was a busted play, Bill. It looked like that was going to be dead in the water back there.
Yeah.
But he just able to cross over to the 1st down marker. So 1st and 10, Pennridge, the first down of the night, is a shovel pass to Joan Angst.
Ball's going to be played at the 47-yard line. It almost looked like as they were moving a change, it looks like, almost looked like from where I was sitting, it looks like they were trying to challenge, see if he actually didn't get it, and it would be in.
Well, there's some stop right now. It's funny. In the pros, this would be the replay right now. We'll have replay here, but
or a booth review.
Yeah, we're kicking this one up to the booth. We are again very happy to be telling you about a lot of the sponsors here tonight that we'll be telling you all about them. But first, I'll tell you about how you can order a copy of tonight's game. If you would like a copy of tonight's game or any other HHTV event, please go to the HHTV website at www.hatboro-horsham.org. Navigate to departments to find the HHTV webpage. Follow the HHTV menu to how to order a DVD. It really is that simple, folks. And you go to that website, order anything you see, whether it's a concert that your kid has been in, any sporting event, anything that the HHTV cameras have been at. We roll video on it. You can order a copy. So go there today, and the price will be right there next to the order form. Back to action now. 1st and 10, Pennridge. Let's see what they'll do about it. Devon Balmer, number 10, still going from the shotgun position with some deep backs there, almost a pistol look. And that one's given to number 16, Ryan Gordon. So the big fullback going up through the middle, running off of his guard and tackle hole off to the right-hand side. And that's a pickup of 7 by the big guy. So 2nd and 3 now. No problem picking up yardage there. Ryan Gordon. They might have seen something there, Bill. They might continue to run up that gut all night if they like what they just saw. Yeah,
especially with the defense formation. It looks like on the right side of the defense there's a hole, and Pennridge isn't exploiting it, but it's still early here in the first quarter of play.
And it looks like they just got those 3 yards, unless I'm seeing the spot wrong from here. That looks like they got another first down.
Yeah, 2nd first down of the game.
So Pennridge on the move here, crossing over to the other side of the 50-yard line and bringing up another first down, Pennridge. So Pennridge able to establish the line here, and they do have a big offensive front. If you look at the depth chart, they have some big boys up front, so they can move that offensive line pretty well. So it's unangst in motion. They're going to follow his block, and that's again to the fullback, Ryan Gordon, off to the left-hand side, right behind his guard and tackle hole. And that one, nope, they're just short. It's going to be 2nd and 8, 2nd and 2, right? So it's an 8-yard pickup. Ball now on the 34. So Pennridge able to get them in large chunks now. And they've gotten away from the pass. They've gotten away from the, the Hollywood-style stuff, and they're just grinding it now. Right at them, right up the middle again. No one's stopping them, so they're just going to keep going from it. Another 10 yards there. Ryan Gordon, number 16. They may have found their big back, Bill. And right now, the Hatters have no answer for him across the middle.
So far already, Ryan Gordon's already got 14 rushing yards.
Yeah, he's chewing them up. And, the fullback is the inside linebacker's responsibility. That would be our big guy, Joe Albano, who also plays fullback for us. But he is getting sealed off by the inside lineman. You watch the second layer here. Pick up Joe Albano, middle of your screen there as the inside linebacker. He's getting chewed up right now. That one able to wrap up, so they're going to push him back on that one.
It's going to be a loss of 2, it looks like.
And one thing that we did talk about in the open was, Hatboro-Horsham is kind of redefining who they have and who they don't have right now, just trying to figure out guys. Talked about John O'Malley. He's out for another 3 weeks. Ryan Fitzpatrick, another great athlete on this team whose name came up quite a bit last year. He's out probably for the season with a blown MCL. I talked to him a couple weeks ago, and he was really devastated and just really upset about the fact that his knee is totally blown out. Doesn't know what that prognosis is going to mean for his senior year. And then you look at Jeff Panera and his transfer to Archbishop Wood. Those are 3 main guys that I'm sure the coach looked at last year and said, I'd like to have these 3 guys back for sure, and you don't have them. Right now, you're starting the first 3 weeks of the season before that league season, that conference schedule really picks up, and you don't have your three of your main guys. So Hatboro-Horsham very much trying to find themselves right now, and right now they're facing a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, one of the things is that you look at all these guys; they're all upperclassmen. They're starting to end their tenure. This is the season where the Hatters lowerclassmen, such as Robert Fitzgerald, they're gonna have to start picking up, and they're gonna have to start taking a slack because with all the upperclassmen getting hurt, and if this continues, more injuries are going to come. It's not going to be good, and the Hatters are going to have another losing season.
So, yeah, you're right there. And 3rd and 1, and the give was to – couldn't see the number from here, but they were able to stop them up pretty well there. So Joe Albano able to pick up a tackle on that one. Maybe you heard me calling him out there, but Hatboro-Horsham doing a good job wrapping him up, and that's going to be a 4th down. And I'm not seeing any kickers coming in yet, so 4th down and 1. Less than 1, and we are going to go for it here. So I'm going to say Ryan Gordon might going to get the ball here, big fullback. Nope. And a keeper. And Devon Balmer, they can't wrap him up, and that's time Balmer's going to go all the way in, not just for the first down, but for the first touchdown of the 2014 season. So Devon Balmer with the keep. He scrambles to his right. Missed tackle in the backfield. Hatboro-Horsham could have had him wrapped up, but not able to finish the tackle there. And touchdown Pennridge.
16-yard rushing touchdown for the Pennridge Rams as the PAT attempt will come out.
We do have replay tonight, so we'll try to take a look at it and see who missed that tackle. But oh, my bad. Never mind.
PAT attempt is good. The Pennridge Rams will take a 7-0 lead over your Hatters.
So it is 7-0 here. 3:30 already left here in the first quarter, so we're burning through the time already tonight. But taking a look, and we'll see what Hatboro-Horsham is able to respond with when they come back. Once Pennridge found that running game, that was really something. They were chewing them up. I mean, what was the biggest gain on that drive, Bill? I mean, you said there was definitely a 14-yarder at some point. I mean, what were some of the bigger gains in that last drive by Pennridge?
The biggest gain in the last drive was the touchdown, which was 16 yards.
So that was the biggest one right there.
The second one was a 14-yard run by Ryan Gordon.
Yep. So you're looking at, on average, it was probably 7, 8, 9 yards a carry.
Yeah.
You're looking at for that entire drive, and that's gonna kill you every time on defense. So Hatboro-Horsham will take the kick here and look to make some positive yardage, at least start right around the 50-yard line, and try to answer back fast against the Rams. This is also the game of the year where conditioning really starts to play, because you're coming off of camp, and those scrimmages, they can only tune you up so much, Bill. Your real game speed is really something that you can't practice. You get into that first game of the year, and it's warm, it's a mild night, but you're still gassed. So we'll see how well conditioned the two teams are tonight. Deep kick. Hatboro-Horsham picks it up in the backfield. They start making some yardage because Pennridge coming, finds a wall, still looking. Big tackle in the backfield by number 21. So Weichel with a big wrap-up in the backfield for Pennridge.
Picked the ball up at about the 6-yard line, makes it all the way to the 21. Good pickup on the punt return.
Yeah, he read the wall fairly well there, but he's going to have to move his feet a little bit faster if he's going to make any positive yardage tonight, because they 1st and 10 now on the 27-yard line, so they have quite a bit of ground to make up here. So let's see what they have in their playbook here. Casey Walsh looking to pass at some point here, trying to establish their own ground game here. We'll see if Albano starts to pick things up, and we'll be looking. 1st and 10, Hatters.
Like
and Walsh give underneath to Naru, and he's wrapped up well in the backfield. Nowhere to go.
Looks like it's going to be about.
Good looking crowd here tonight. Opening night at Hatters Stadium. At some point we'll get a nice shot of the crowd for you. But stands are full. Always nice to see on the opening night of any football season. And it's good to see the Hatters faithful out tonight supporting the guys and the cheerleaders and, of course, the band here at Hatters Stadium.
That was a loss of 4 on the rush.
Yeah, 2nd and 14 now for the Hatters. Ball on the 23-yard line. Walsh looking over the troops. And it's gotta be interesting to be able to game plan when you don't have somebody like John O'Malley back there. And it's Albano up the middle, so they're going to try their big guy fullback. Joe Albano with the carry. Looks like he got about 3 on that one. But again, without O'Malley out there, I mean, think about how many times last year we're doing that CB West game, and he was a stud. He was all over the field. And it was almost, we were calling his name almost every play, whether it was offense or defense. That's hard to replace. And you hate to say, like, one guy makes a team, but when you're calling that many plays, one guy makes a lot of those highlights, and you game plan for him. So you look at Pennridge, it's like, yeah, you don't have to game plan that guy. That changes the game plan entirely. 3rd and 10 now, ball back to the 27-yard line where we started this drive. Walsh gets rid of 2 guys. Nice little pickup there, Naru. 1st down, Hatters. The first down of the year for HH. So Walsh able to get some movement there, able to duck 2 guys, and then able to find the open man downfield. So great movement there by Casey Walsh. Now Casey Walsh, nice mobile quarterback. We saw a glimpse of that last year, and it looks like that's how he's going to continue to run his offense this year as the starter. Casey Walsh, 5'10", 165. He's only a junior, so could be things to come here for next year as well. Nice screen pass that time by Walsh. Pick up about 9 yards. So Hatboro-Horsham moving the chains around now. And that was to number 9, Matt Reamer out there, senior, picking up a nice screen pass. So Hatboro-Horsham able to make things move here.
So far, Walsh, passing game, he's 2 for 6 with 26 yards.
And it's the short stuff, though. You know, it's good stuff. It's the short, quick release stuff, Chip Kelly-esque, if you will. And it's 2nd and 1 on the 47 now. So let's see if they run it or if they're going to continue the passing here with 2nd and 1. They have a free down.
You know, looking back last season, I looked over that Hatters-Pennridge game here at home. Pennridge actually scored 21 in the first quarter.
Yeah, and they had Mike Cass last year too, and again, that's a big hole to fill. Great pass over the middle, so they go with the free down, they go for the long pass, and they pick up the first down and many more on that one. So nice pickup. So Walsh finding his rhythm here with under a minute left to go in the first quarter, but they're moving the chains. 57 there, Mr. Pagliaro in the middle of your screen, doing a good job of blocking up the middle. And we'll be calling out our linemen. We're not going to forget about our boys in the middle. Doing a good job for us tonight.
Less than a minute left in the first quarter of play, and already Hatters, Casey Walsh, you know, this is his season. This is his season to shine already. He's 3 for 7 with 39 yards.
Oh, got a little jump early there. We'll see if our offensive line rocked back. Looking on the right-hand side of the line. Yeah, false start on Jake Dillon.
Walsh.
The number 77 there, Jake Dillon, who might have rocked back in the stance a little bit.
Looks like a substitution's happening. Number 22 for the Hatters. It's coming in for number 45.
So that's a 5-yard penalty, 1st and 15 now, ball on the 44-yard line. So, like I said, Walsh, see what they go with now. They had 2 guys down low here on receiver. Yep, back to the same alignment. So 2 receivers down low on the left-hand side of your screen, on the bottom of your screen, I should say. And Walsh will be looking underneath. Hand off to Naru. He spins, and he's going to lose 2, it looks like. So it's going to be a 2nd down and 17. And they'll probably let the clock tick on this one. 15 seconds left to go in the quarter. They'll probably take the clock down all the way to 0 and just call it a quarter. Looks like that's what's going to happen. So, again, 7-0 right now is our score with the Pennridge Rams on top of your Hatboro-Horsham Hatters with 1 quarter down. 7-0, but Hatboro-Horsham on the move. When we come back, it'll be a 2nd and 17, ball on the 46, and we'll see what Coach Kapusta and the Hatters will do when we come back. Back here live, 2nd quarter action underway soon, and again, a Hatboro-Horsham crowd watching a drive here by Hatboro-Horsham, looking to make their first points of the year. So 2nd quarter underway. It is 7-0 Pennridge, but Casey Walsh and the Hatters continuing to make some move here. For the 2nd and 17, ball on the 46.
No, it's interesting. Last quarter, Pennridge dominated 7 minutes and 30 seconds exactly.
Yeah, they moved the ball well.
And then Hatters got the rest of that 4:30. PIAA Quad A football, it's 12-minute quarters instead of standard NFL 15.
Sure, and they use a lot of them. When you're running at an average of 8 yards a play, that clock is continuing to run. So Walsh and the Hatters here on 2nd and 17. So they got to go back to this passing game. 17, a lot of yards to make up. Walsh had found a rhythm there late in the first quarter, and timeout on the field. Coach Pusta. So Hatters take a timeout here. They didn't like what they saw. Let's just go with a couple more of the storylines. And, you know, you look at some of the returners for Hatboro-Horsham. They're 4-8 last year. They lost 5 offensive starters, 7 defensive starters. We talked about Walsh quite a bit. You know, he got that late start last year, really when he started to pick up steam as a sophomore, but a lot of game experience. We talked about him last year and said, I remember saying it, you know, he's getting an invaluable game experience right now as a sophomore. Here we are, opening night, and that's our starting quarterback. We talked about Kingsley Noru. He's going to be one of the guys to watch in the backfield, 5'9", 170 junior. But another junior. This is a young team still. And, you know, you look at the type of game experience that they got as sophomores. A 4-8 record with a bunch of sophomores is a great thing. Because now you have seasoned juniors. And then you have seniors next year. And you go into the brand new American Conference. And it's not that it's easier, but it's just different. And you get to compete with people that are schools that are more your size. And we'll talk about that in a second as we pick up the action here. 2nd and 17. We'll talk about the realignment of conferences because that is really the storyline of the year. Walsh back to pass, looking deeper, and able to thread it in there. Nice pass, great catch. And that one is caught by number 9, Matt Reamer. Great hands by Reamer. So that's the second time tonight we've called Matty Reamer's name. Good to see him out there. And again, Matt Reamer, number 9, 5'10", 153 senior. For his size, going over the middle, gutsy play, doesn't care about the traffic, just pulls the ball in and holds on to it for a great first down for Hatboro-Horsham. Moving the ball all the way down to the 28. Hatters looking to make their first dent of the year on the scoreboard.
So far, Case Walsh is 4 for 8, 55 yards. Definitely dominating the passing game.
And he rolls to his left this time. And really nice hook pattern out there to the left. Number 20. 28, Anthony Paranisi is the guy who made the catch for there. Great little hook pattern. And just enough to get the cornerback off of him and turn around. And Walsh delivers a perfect ball, Bill, because as a quarterback, that's a really quick pattern. You're just turning just enough to get the cornerback off of you, and the timing on that throw has to be perfect. And Walsh and him obviously have worked a lot of practice on that throw. With O'Malley being out the last 2 weeks, they've had time to work together, and it showed right there on that play. 1st and 10 on the 17-yard line. Another pass. Charlie Obrick, haven't called his name yet, but he is one of the guys that is a player to watch. Makes it down to the 2-yard line. So Charlie Obrick, 5'9", 165, senior. He's one of the captains of the squad and one of the guys that has been one of the names that we said, hey, you got to watch for this guy. Because with John O'Malley out, Charlie Obrick has to pick up some major points if Hatboro-Horsham is going to compete in the first 3 weeks of this season. He gets down to the 2-yard line. 1st and 2. So Walsh is enjoying a better than 50% completion rating here early in the game.
60%.
And we'll see now. Will he break that? Will he go that to the run, or will he pass a short one in for the touchdown? Let's see. And going to the safe run up the middle, Noru. And it's touchdown. First touchdown of the season to number 5, Kingsley Noru. Up the middle, touchdown, Hatters. Hatboro-Horsham says we can do that too. Come right back with a great scoring drive, taking a lot of time off the clock. They finished out the first quarter and down to 10:43 here in the second quarter, and Hatboro-Horsham on the board.
Hatters go for the PAT.
Yeah, let's take this one. Don't take these for granted. And that's why. So 7-6 will remain our score.
Keller's kick is wide up. Score now, Grant 7, Hatters 6.
So 7-6, Hatboro-Horsham down by 1 now. But a great drive, and Casey Walsh and the boys on offense, the line, holding pass blocking just enough to give Walsh time to throw, and some really good throws by Casey Walsh. Short, quick delivery, precise passing. And what were the overall yards on that drive, Bill? What do you have? On the Bill stats. Check the Bill stats.
So far on that last drive, Hatters started all the way at the 46-yard line, made it a touchdown. So 46 yards in less than 2 minutes. That's just incredible.
46 yards. That's a nice drive. So they used up the chunk. They used some clock. Kicking game's got to improve if they're going to stay competitive, though, that's for sure. So they'll kick this one off now. Hatboro-Horsham looking good on their first drive. While we're waiting here a little bit, let's talk about the realignment of conference. And, you know, the American Conference is where Hatboro-Horsham will play. They are back to playing some of the teams that they played a few years back, but they realigned, PIAA, SOL conference, they realigned everything based on the male population in the schools. And in the American Conference, we at 617 have the most boys, but not as many as these other schools. Like Pennridge alone is probably 4 times our size. North Penn, 4 times our size. And we're playing those schools every year based on geography. Well, the league looked at that and said, well, that's not really fair, because they have so many boys that can come out for these teams, and it's not the same. So they realigned it based on the population of boys in the school, and Hatboro-Horsham now playing a non-conference game against Pennridge, whereas the last 4 to 5 years, this was a conference game. So if you look at the other teams that are in there, you're talking about Upper Dublin, you're talking about Wissahickon, Cheltenham, Springford. Upper Moreland is now in the same conference as us, so our big rival is now an actual conference game. So there's a lot of weight to that game now, because you're playing your rival, and it matters. Yeah, and it matters, because that game, end of the year, didn't count for anything. Well, now you're talking about it counts for a lot, because that's a conference game. And, you know, it could be potentially who goes to playoffs based on the winner of that game in the middle of the season.
Yeah, as we saw last year, both teams come in with 4 and 6 records, but didn't work out as Upper Moreland beat the Hatters 28-21 on Thanksgiving.
You look at the enrollment numbers, too. There again, Hatboro-Horsham at 617. You know, this is based on male enrollment in each of these schools. 608, 597, all the way down to Springfield with 239. So Hatboro-Horsham has the most boys of any of these schools, but not as many as what you call the Continental Conference, which are the big schools in the area. So Pennridge, 1st and 10. So a big pickup again by number 16, Ryan Gordon, on that last play, Bill. We were talking about the conferences. He rattled off a 12, 13-yard run again. But this time Albano able to stop Hatboro-Horsham. So it's going to be a different look this year. There's going to be a lot of different names that Hatboro-Horsham fans haven't been able to say in a couple years. But you start talking about the different teams that they're going to play. You're talking about those teams that we just had on the screen for you. Upper Marion, and they round out that list. The only team missing from that is Norristown. Norristown, who did play in the American Conference last year, basically switched with Hatboro-Horsham. They went up to the Continental Conference because they have more boys in their school. So they will play Pennridge. They will play North Penn. So Hatters defense making a stance there, getting it right back to the line of scrimmage, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down now.
You know, as a student athlete, as myself, last year we were in the Continental Conference. I think the only out-of-conference game we played was Plymouth Whitemarsh, Colonials, and Upper Dublin. Everything else was in conference, or it was in the National Conference.
It changes things quite a bit. The only problem, in my own opinion, totally my own opinion, is that, you know, Pennsylvania, like so many other states, really needs a 5A. You know, you're talking about everybody just gets, no matter what conference you play in, you know, it's a real feel-good type thing until you get to the PIAA state tournament. And shuttle pass attempted there to number 20, Joan Angst again, but this one the Hatters able to pick up on. And number 34, that was Kyle Owen with a nice stop. Another senior, Kyle Owen, bringing up a 4th down. Just back to the opinion, you get to the state playoffs, it doesn't matter what conference you come from. You're still going to have to play North Penn. You're still going to have to play St. Joe's Prep. You're still going to have to play LaSalle. They're huge schools. So, you know, it might help you get a few more wins, but, you know, you have to play these schools eventually because there is no 5A in Pennsylvania state football.
Yeah, one of the things we did with the American Conference last year, we had a game against Plymouth Whitemarsh where we were absolutely destroyed. Looking back on that game, I was on MaxSports.com. Give them credit because they're up to date with everything. But anyway, it was like 56-10. And
to cut you off here, a huge gain. Number 11, Amir Simmons, first time calling his name. The 6', 210-pound senior just ran it past the entire Hatboro-Horsham team for Pennridge's 2nd touchdown of the night. So just a sweep around to the right-hand side, followed his blocks, and just destroyed everybody, got around everybody. That's number 11, Amir Simmons, on your screen right now. And showed his speed there and just able to get around everybody. So that was about a 28-yard touchdown run by Amir Simmons. The extra point is up, and it's good. So 14-6 is our score now. And you see our scoreboard tonight again brought to you by Fast Signs. Can't thank them and Horizon Services enough for picking up the sponsorship on HHTV programming and Hatters football tonight. We're very thankful for them once again. Fast Signs. More than fast, more than signs. Fast Signs.
At 2 locations in Montgomeryville and Doylestown.
The boy did his homework. I like it. So 14-6 is our score. We'll correct that in a second on our own screen, but Hatters down 8 now, and really are forcing themselves into going for the 2-point conversion. So we will. The lights are on here at Hatters Stadium. It's a nice crowd here tonight. Beautiful summer night. Great first night of football for the Hatboro-Horsham Hatters and the Pennridge Rams. And boy, I can't tell you, I'm really looking forward to high school football this year. And just, as a fan, just able to watch it, enjoy it, and really eager to see what Hatboro-Horsham and some of the other schools and the programs in the area really bring to the table as everybody deals with some of this realignment this year. So kickoff coming shortly. Hatboro-Horsham getting another chance to take control of the time of possession. And that'll be a touchback coming back to the 20-yard line. So 7:52 left in the half. That's what the Hatters will be working with. And they used about 5 minutes last time to go all the way down the field, and that was a 48-yard drive, so they're going to have to go the full 80 this time, starting from the 20. So we'll see what kind of short passes Mr. Casey Walsh has in mind this time.
Mr. Thomas, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but since you are close near Pennridge, who you got to be a bigger fan of here? Pennridge because they've been good, they've been consistently good, or Hatboro-Horsham, who recently has a new head coach, Coach Kapusta, going into his second year. Who are you a bigger fan of tonight?
Well, I know where I'm paid. I'm wearing a red shirt right now, so I'm good. I don't have any personal connection to Pennridge this year. My son Nick not playing; he's in the band. My daughter Julia, Nick and Julia are both seniors at Pennridge, but neither one of them are on the field tonight, so I don't have to worry about that conflict of interest. My son Joey is just starting with the Pennridge midget program, and then starting with the Green Jackets, but he is not on the field tonight. So fast forward, he'll be in second grade this year. So fast forward 7 years, and we'll have a conflict of interest. But until then, go Hatters. Is that your question answered?
Yeah, just fitting perfectly because last year, Pennridge, they really did a number on us, 35-7, the final score. That was reflecting back on that. They scored 21 points in the first quarter alone. Starting the second half of play, it was 28-0. Hatters scored a touchdown with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter of play.
Yeah, it's and that was a team. Don't forget, that was a Pennridge team that was coming off of their own conference championship the year before. They went 2 or 3 games into the state playoffs before losing to Springford, and then Springford ended up losing to Coatesville, and Coatesville went all the way. So that was a really deep team 2 years ago. So that was a very talented Pennridge team last year. But again, all those guys are gone. They've lost quite a bit as well. So that's why tonight's game should be interesting, to say the least. There's a stoppage on the field right now. But, you're looking at 2 teams that are still trying to figure themselves out. There's a lot of youth on both sides of the game tonight, and really neither one of them have any senior studs on the field tonight. Of course, John O'Malley would be that, very talked about player in the area, but, he's out for the next at least 3 weeks.
Yeah, looking down to that schedule.
Our spotter down there, Bob Anderson, also our technical director, producer, and czar of all things television, telling us that there is a infraction on the Pennridge sidelines, and that's what the refs are dealing with. All right, so 3rd and 3 now, ball on the 27-yard line. Casey Walsh trying to get this thing moving. They're deep in Pennridge territory. And pumps it, gets it, and Paranisi was the intended receiver and can't get anything there, so it's going to be a 4th down and a deep kick for Hatboro-Horsham. So the Rams are going to get pretty good field position out of this one with 6:18 left, and the Hatters defense is really going to have to put on the stops now, because if they don't, they're going to be down in a 2-touchdown hole here in the first half. And timeout is called. All right, so Hatter's timeout is on the field, so they have a 4th and 3. I guess they're going to think this one over, but they are deep. They're on the 27-yard line. Sponsorship opportunities. Well, let's tell you about this. If your business wants to be in the game, make athletic advertising part of your winning strategy by promoting your business with signage here at Hatter Stadium. That's right, your business can gain exposure to more than 50,000 parents, students, community members, and outside organizations who visit these facilities every year. If 50,000 sounds like a big number, it is. And you should contact Jeannie Hagan at jhagan@hatboro-horsham.org and get your business at Hatter Stadium and get exposure to 50,000 people through HHTV. Back here to the game action, 4th and 3 on the 27-yard line. And Hatboro-Horsham is back to punt. Smart decision deep in the territory. Let's see if they can get a nice big boom here.
Brandon Cruz to kick for the Hatters.
Low snap. Took a lot of time. Low kick. He's got a decent bounce. And Hatboro-Horsham will put a stop down to that one and pick it up on the 43-yard line. So Joseph Lee able to down that one before it could roll either one way or the other. So Pennridge takes over, 6:11 left to go.
Well, we have time here. I researched the American Conference standings last year. Plymouth White Marsh Colonials, they were 7-0 in conference play, 8-3 overall. Then you got the Upper Dublin Cardinals, our neighbors, 6-1 in conference play.
Oh, they had a great year last year. Yeah, they're very competitive.
And Plymouth White Marsh and Upper Dublin, they both wound up making the playoffs. One of the things is, you got to
that field 16. Ooh, double handoff. Burst back to the other side. And there is, there he goes again. Right, they still don't have him down. Amir Simmons, the guy who ran a 28-yard touchdown in, but apparently coughs it up on the end as I cough. So turnover. Refs are checking this one to see if he was down, but it is a fumble called.
Now, this is the time where, NFL, it would be instant replay.
Yeah, absolutely. This one will be under review for sure. Refs doing a little conference out there. It seemed like a late whistle, but they're calling it a turnover, and Hatboro-Horsham will have the ball. So that was a huge run that he'll get credit for. Amir Simmons with a big run from the 43-yard line all the way down to the 22-yard line. Great run, but coughs it up in the end.
Yeah, that's basic mistakes that,
Bill, you do math. How big was that run?
That was a 21-yard run.
I think it was even more than that. He's down at the 22-yard line. He started at the 43 of the opposite side. Again, I do English. I don't do math.
Yeah.
Figure that one out. I'll call it game. I don't math well, Billy. Hatboro-Horsham back first and 10, and it's Kingsley Naru up the middle for a gain of about 4 yards.
41 yards.
Thank you. 41 yards. Sounds much
21.
better. So a 41-yard run by Amir Simmons. Coughs it up in the end, and what a shame that one would be for Pennridge, because they really would have made a dent going into halftime with that, but turnovers will kill you. 5:38 left to go here in the half, so we'll see if Casey Walsh and the Hatters can pick up the pace a little bit. Click, 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 tock, 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 5:25. 2nd and 6 on the 26-yard line. Looking to pass. Ball tipped, intercepted by number 2, Dan Hockman. And Hockman will go down.
Hatters give it
right
back.
On the 20. Yep. So number 2, Dan Hockman, able to pick that one up. The ball was tipped and right into Hockman's hands.
Now this is the mistakes we saw last year, and it killed the Hatters.
Yeah. So a huge swing of momentum twice.
Yeah.
And they actually end up with really almost the exact same spot, 2 yards from the same spot where they just had it. They had fumbled on the 22-yard line. They now have 1st and 10 on the 20, heading in for their 3rd touchdown of the night with 5:08 left to go in the first quarter. First half, excuse me. So Devon Balmer back in the shotgun. Rolls to his right, looking to pass. And has a man open in the end zone. It is a touchdown to number 8, Ryan Cuthbert. Cuthbert, one-on-one in the end zone. Touchdown, Pennridge.
20-yard touchdown pass by Pennridge. And as you said earlier, Mr. Thomas, you can't let mistakes happen. Now you're down by 14, and if they convert the PAT, it'll be 15. Hatters put themselves in a hole, and they're struggling to dig themselves out.
That momentum swing was huge on that pick. That tip pass right into Hockman's hands. 1 play later, touchdown. Extra point up and good, 21-6. So, what a momentum change in the last 2 minutes of this game. 2 turnovers. Pennridge right back to answer back. I mean, they had gone for a 41-yard run. Turn it over. Tip pass. Dan Hockman picks it up for Pennridge. Boop. 1 play later, Ryan Cuthbert, who's built like his old man, by the way, former Pennridge coach, Randy Cuthbert. His son, Ryan Cuthbert, was that touchdown grab. 6'2", 195 sophomore for Pennridge, alone in the end zone, one-on-one, and able to pull that one in with not much difficulty. So Coach Mike Kapusta there on the sideline is really going to have to do some adjustments here in the second half and just really clean up the turnovers first. That's one of the main things that they're going to have to watch. And Coach Kapusta in his second year here, trying to make a statement as our new coach. 21-6.
In his first year as a rookie coach, he did a pretty good job. He turned a team that was, I'm a Hatter student, but it was absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
He turned a team that was, what, 0-12 or 1-11?
I think 1-11, actually. Yeah.
1-11,
yep.
And he turns them to 4-8. That's an improvement by any team standards. You take the Eagles. They got Chip Kelly to go 10-6 after coming off 4-12.
Had a window there, but Brodus could not capitalize on it, but had a nice window there for a second. A couple more steps ahead, and it would have had a nice seam there to run through. So 4:54 here in the first half is what we have, Bill, and we'll get the Bill stats ready for halftime. Bill Rowland, our head statistician here on the HHTV Sports Crew, getting things ready for the halftime show. And also take a run around the conference and see what some of the other scores are. Check our Twitter feed from some of our contacts out there, and we'll see what the other high school scores are tonight.
Speaking of Brodus is actually a freshman. And, being a freshman on varsity anything is just incredible.
Well,
now, I saw this kid when he was starting out in 7th grade football at Keith Valley. Man, oh man, can this kid run. Yeah. He ran the 40 yards, a little under 5 seconds.
Well, they could have used him on that play. Hatboro-Horsham was sacked for, that was a 7-yard loss. So, 9-yard loss. According to the scoreboard, so 2nd and 19 now. And they're going to have to figure out that big defensive front because right now, Pennridge, as they say, are pinning their ears back and sending the dogs.
3rd loss by Hatters offense so far. Already, just doing the stats, already 15 yards lost.
Yeah, and they're deep. They're at the 15-yard line right now, 2nd and 19.
And this is where we
Walsh
were
back
earlier.
in the shotgun, 2 backs to his side. Everybody out. 5 receivers. Gets the ball out fast. Little short drop pass. Able to get it to the original line of scrimmage. So about a 9-yard gain. Clock ticks at 3:51 left to go in the half. So we see a lot of Walsh's short, intermediate, middle passes. Don't see the long ball. But we've got to get somebody out there in space on the movement to try to get any of these big gainers out there. Joe Albano, big 44, our fullback out there, also a very good receiver. Be interesting to see if we see him out there at all catching the ball. He has good hands. One of our better football players, Joe Albano. Walsh scrambling, being chased all over the place. He's going to have to take it out of bounds. That'll stop the clock at 3:06. But Walsh being chased heavily by number 54, Zach Hockman. And Zach Hockman, one of the captains, big number 54, 6'2", 210 senior. The linebacker chasing Walsh out of bounds. It was his brother Dan who had the key interception just a couple of plays ago that changed all the momentum here at the end of the first half. So back to punt, 4th and 6 are the Hatters. Not able to make it happen here yet late in the first half. Better snap this time, higher kick but shorter kick. And ball will roll right to the 45-yard line.
45-yard line down there by number 9.
So number 9 puts a hand on it, Matt Reamer, and Pennridge will have 2:53 left to start. You'll have to here in the half to make some damage here. 55 yards to go before they could put another score on the board and turn this one into a real lopsided one-half affair if they could score another touchdown, Bill. You know, you talked about last year, you know, the score at halftime was what?
It was 28-0 going into halftime.
Well, let's hope it's not 28-6 at the end of this one.
Because I remember sitting here watching this game, and I was disappointing to watch.
Sure, absolutely. Man in motion is unangst. But again, reverse handoff to number 24, Matt Farida. And he is one of the 3 running backs, but looks like he coughed it up again. They pull the bodies off. We'll see who still has it. Still scrambling down below there. A little scrum on the field. And still trying to pick up the ball. No indication yet. Hatboro-Horsham. So Hatter's able to recover 2 fumbles. Now let's see if they're careful with the ball here. They still have 2:42 left in the half. So there's still an opportunity here to make something happen. 2:42 is a lot of time.
Yeah, that's Pennridge. You know, we always talk about their defense and what they've done so far. Offense, second turnover already.
Yeah, well, the running backs, again, you're looking at guys who, Mike Cass was the running back for the last 2 years for Pennridge. A lot of experience there, great running back, set several school records. These guys, if they're blowing somebody out, you'd see these guys at running back. Now it's their show. So maybe some fumbling hands there. You look at a guy like Farida, and you got to worry about his hands. So Walsh with a pass over the middle, dangerous, horse collar tackle there.
Yeah, I'm surprised there's no flags.
Yeah, there's face mask, horse collar, something, but no flag down. That would have helped too, give him an extra spot. But
yeah, I saw how he grabbed the neck.
Definitely went down odd, Bill. So 2nd and 3, clock runs at 2:20, and timeout on the field. And that's a referee's timeout. I wonder if he wants to also call on the other referee to say, let's watch for this. Oh, no. It's a little adjustment on Charlie Olbrick, putting his tucking his shirt back in his pants. All right, play resumes here, 2nd and 3, ball on the 48-yard line, 2:17 left to go in the half. So Walsh has 48 yards, 52 yards to go if the Hatters want to make a dent here in this Pennridge lead. He is back to pass. Shakes off one, scrambles up the middle.
It's enough for the first down.
So it is a Hatters first down. Under 2 minutes left to go, though. They've got to move fast. So he scrambles out to about the 46-yard line. And they've got to move it faster. 2-minute drill in effect here. Coach Kapusta has his 2-minute drill plays in, making the call from the sidelines. And Walsh gets a signal, and here comes the play. Clock is ticking, though, 1:50. This is what you drill for at the end of practice, Bill, too. When everybody's tired, you do your 2-minute drill. You get all these plays out. And another interception by Hockman. Hockman there again. And he's reading Walsh like a book.
Hatter's second turnover of the
Hockman
night.
has his number right now. He is reading his eyes. He is reading his motion. And Dan Hockman, like any good defensive back, any good cornerback, his eyes are on the receiver. Once he reads the receiver, his eyes are on that quarterback. He steps up and he makes a second pick of the night. So Pennridge defense really able to read the telegraphs here. And Casey Walsh is going to have to look off his receivers. Otherwise, Dan Hockman is going to eat him alive all night. So a minute 33 left to go. Another turnover by Hatboro-Horsham. 21-6 is our score. Again, that scoreboard tonight brought to you by Fast Signs, also by Horizon Services. Horizon Services, the premier plumbing, heating, and air conditioning company. And by Fast Signs, more than fast, more than signs. Fast Signs. So again, turnover on the field here. We'll bring up a 1st and 10 for Pennridge on the 47-yard line.
The last time Pennridge had an interception, wound up getting 21st point of the game, 20 and 21st point of the game.
So with the penalty, Rams will start from the 45-yard line of the Hatters.
So Devon Balmer, timeout being called. Yeah, Hatboro-Horsham will take their 3rd and final timeout of the half. And Devin Balmer and the offense, look, they were set up under center. They weren't back in the shotgun that time. So at least appearing from the way that they were lining up, Bill, is that Pennridge was going to run the ball and try to run this clock down a little bit rather than going for the jugular, if you will, and get another pass over the middle. But then, you know, you look at number 11, Amir Simmons, who has just rattled off some huge runs for them. He has come from that left wing spot every time. So he comes across in motion and comes around that end in the sweep. Hatboro-Horsham has not found an answer for him yet, running to that right-hand side where your left outside linebacker would be for Hatboro-Horsham. So, you know, if I'm a coach, that's where I would attack. You know, you're looking at Fitzgerald's over on that side, number 13 for Hatboro-Horsham.
Yeah, like.
And you're looking at, it's just, you know, kind of going to attack where you see that you can make some bends, and that's what they keep going back to.
Yeah, what I would do, defensive strategy, double cover on Simmons, because he's been destroying the Hatters. As you see, he's set up on the right side. Pennridge is the man in motion.
Onangst gets that one in motion this time. He's off to that right-hand side, the same right-hand side we just talked about. It's not Simmons this time. It's Joe Onangst, same right side. Somebody used to be a coach. So big gain for Pennridge. Ball now moved all the way down deep in the Hatters territory, and the spot is going to be just inside the 20-yard line. Called the 19. Line. And 1st and 10, Pennridge. Again, off to that big right side of the Pennridge line. And Hatboro-Horsham outside linebacker is not able to stop them. This time they go right up the gut at that middle linebacker, Joe Albano, and able to take off 2. So just over a minute left to go. Clock ticks, and by the time they snap off the next play, there will be under a minute left to go in the half. Pennridge taking their time here. Clock starts. Under 55 seconds left to go. Pennridge working it here with the 2nd and 6. Taking their time. Setting up for what they hope is going to be the final touchdown of the first half. Man in motion to the left, Onangst. It's the quarterback, Balmer, rolling to his right, looks deep. Batted down in the end zone by number 5, Kingsley Noru. Bats that one down. So Balmer not able to put enough on that one, trying to go for the corner route, and Noru able to knock that one down. Does stop the clock, though, on a 3rd and 6 and 35 seconds left. So 35 seconds left to go in the half, 3rd and 6. So we'll see if they go run to the right on the short side of the field, if they spread it out to the left, up the middle, or are they going to do some short passes. So we'll see what they do. So Balmer's back in the shotgun.
So far, Devon
Fullback
Balmer
slides across to the right. Balmer back, little short, handoff underneath, and it's going to be a 1st down as the fullback gets a little short handoff. So a little trickery there. Balmer, you think he was going to keep that keeper like they scored their first touchdown on, but instead hands it back to the fullback on a short little handoff. So 27 seconds left to go. 1st and 6, 1st and goal for Pennridge.
Yeah, so far for Pennridge, Devon Balmer, 10 for 18.
Passing. You know, he's an athletic quarterback, but you know, he's also made some interesting throws. He doesn't have a lot on the ball, but they haven't had to show a deep threat at all tonight. You know, the touchdown to Cuthbert was probably the longest pass that he threw, and it was for a touchdown. But he really showing some speed tonight. But honestly, the most impressive guy I've seen so far is number 11, Amir Simmons. Amir Simmons, one of the captains for Pennridge tonight, one of the most impressive athletes on the field at 6 foot 210. You know, for a running back. That's a big boy.
He's a stud.
But he has that speed too, and he had that next level when he rattled off that 41-yard run. Yeah, he fumbled at the end, but you know what? You hold on to the ball, you run 41 yards, you win every game. It's simple math. So 27 seconds left to go, 1st and goal, and the Rams have really quieted the Hatters faithful tonight, who do have a nice-looking crowd here tonight, but they're hoping this one doesn't go down to a 3-touchdown game.
Not being a Pennridge fan, but Pennridge also has a pretty good turnout, especially for an away game.
Yeah, and there is Simmons, by the way, off to the right-hand side. Stiff arms 1, able to stretch in. He hit the pylon, and they call a touchdown. There it is, Kears. There it is. Amir Simmons with another touchdown.
His
so
second.
he just stretched it across, yep. And Simmons putting on a show tonight, 27-6, Pennridge up now. So we've been talking about him. We talk about the right side, and there it was. We'll see if the extra point goes up, trying to make it 28-6. High snap, able to get it down fast. Extra point's good, 28-6.
And good for the Rams.
So Pennridge well in control of this one, Bill. And stats tonight, not too good so far. Huh?
Good for Pennridge.
I'll say.
But since I'm wearing red and black, always will wear red and black, it's just not pretty. Hatters defense, such a letdown there. Pennridge knows that they have weakness on the right side. Hatters got to rethink it, and they got to double check everything. And it's now 28-7. Hatters got to really focus on that right side because look, that's where Pennridge is going.
Well,
they've scored 3 touchdowns going on the right-hand side. It's ridiculous. It's just driving the knife in and turning it more.
You know, last night, Bill Rowland's dad emails me and said how hard Bill Rowland was working on getting ready for tonight's game. And one of the things that Billy showed me was the record holders in Pennridge high school history. And one of the big record holders, offensive stud, if you will, in 1970, was none other than Coach Jeff Hollenbach, your Pennridge Ram head coach. Somebody knows how to work the offense. It's him. So Hatboro-Horsham with 15 seconds left.
It looks like we got a small fight on the
return.
field. Number 23 for the Rams and 34 for the Hatters as a flag is thrown.
Yeah, a little late action there.
23 for the Rams actually wound up shoving the Hatters player right into the Hatters bench, and obviously tensions they're starting to fly, you know.
Yeah, you don't want to see that on special teams. There's no reason for that. 15 seconds left to go in the half, and can't identify which Hatters player is down.
Late flag came at the end of that
Yeah,
play.
they did call a late flag on
Check it
on
out
that
here.
one.
Isaiah Lewis for the Pennridge Rams shoved Hatters.
Can't make out a number yet. You see him down there. But, you know, that's it could be a 15-yard personal foul penalty, which, of course, would move Hatboro-Horsham up quite a bit on the field. But checking out his left knee there. Might have gotten twisted around.
Yeah,
Doing a strike test on that left knee.
And the Rams. And the ball set. 32, first and 10 Hatters.
So personal foul is called, but apparently it's offsetting penalties. There's a little bit of chippiness on both sides. So still man down for Hatboro-Horsham, but, you know, just get back to the other point is Jeff Hollenbach knows how to coach an offense. And, you know, if he load up that right-hand side, he's going to run it right up the middle as they did. So well-balanced attack so far from Pennridge. And 28-6 is our score to show for it. So Hatboro-Horsham, man, getting up right now. We finally see the number there. And it is 20. I couldn't make out the other number, Bill. Did you see it?
28.
28. All right, well, that's Pernasi, and he's calling his name quite a bit tonight. You know, Pernasi has been the guy that we've been saying is really one of our better receivers out there for the Hatters. And wow, you know, you take him out of it, that's yet another receiver that we'd be down.
Yeah, considering, you know, I went for my physical the other day, and they were testing knees.
Sure.
And as you see, young athletes talking about that blown knee earlier for Hatters.
Yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick, number
And
40.
Rolls out.
we lose another player to another knee injury. It's gonna really affect the season, as you know.
So Walsh goes down there, throws that one out of bounds. 8 seconds left to go. Second and 10, and just throws that one away. He's being chased again by the big defensive front of the Pennridge Rams. The offensive line has to be able to contain Walsh a little bit more than that. He's a mobile quarterback, but you don't want to be throwing on the run all the time because he's throwing the ball 8 yards deep every time. He's already starting in the shotgun, and then he's going back 8 more yards on the chase.
Looking at the Hatters offensive line and the Pennridge defensive line, Hatters aren't really that big compared to Pennridge.
It's a big mismatch. And that's, again, you don't want to talk about the conference, but this is a reason why. You look at the bigger schools like Pennridge, like North Penn, and you have some of the biggest kids in the school, like that defensive line you see out there in white, and those are the bigger kids. Guess who Guess who just came through on that one? Amir Simmons from the defensive end spot sends the final statement into Hatboro-Horsham before halftime with the sack. So a big loss, and it's on the hands of number 11, Amir Simmons, coming right through on that offensive line. So 28-6. The Pennridge Rams well in control this one, and they are coming off the field very cocky and going to their locker room, and they have a lot to celebrate. 28-6 right now, and Hatboro-Horsham has a lot of adjustments to make at halftime. We'll be right back.
HHTV streams most live television events to the district website. To view the stream, click on the link located at the right-hand side of the home page where you can find an event live stream schedule. Now you can tune in from anywhere on your computer and most mobile devices.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hatters halftime. And now coming onto the field, your 2014 Hatters Marching Unit and Color Guard.
This evening we are proud to bring you portions of our 2014 program entitled Fixius, To the Skies, the Heavens, and Beyond. The unit is under the field direction of drum majors Connor Ellis and Ashita Date. The unit is under the direction of Tony Perez. Design and instructional staff include Tom Kaiser, Katie Gallagher, Pete Simon, Brian Stout, TJ Cash, Kirsten Seuss, Ben Kutz, Robert Walt, TJ Cash, Liz Craig, Tommy Richards, TJ Cash, and some other people. The unit would especially like to thank Hatters for Music for their support this year. Drum Major, is your unit ready? Hatboro-Horsham Marching Unit, you may enter the field in exhibition. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hatboro-Horsham High School Marching Unit.
All right, that was the 2014 Hatboro-Horsham Marching Unit and Color Guard, and we'll be right back after this commercial break.
The Hatboro-Horsham Television Network continues to be your source for Hatboro-Horsham School District information and events. HHTV produces a variety of programming that informs, educates, and entertains the Hatboro-Horsham community. Our News You Can Use show highlights events and student achievement in the school district. And each of our 7 primary principals speaks about their brand of education on the Principles of Learning talk show. And want to know what kind of instruction our students receive? Well, tune in to Celebration of Excellence, which focuses on innovation instruction by our teachers. Outlining our school district plans and goals is Superintendent Dr. Curtis Griffin in Talk Soup. HHTV also covers many sports events, concerts, and special events throughout the school year. A combination of students and staff power the engine behind HHTV that is available on Comcast, Verizon, YouTube, and our website. Most events are streamed live for your viewing convenience. HHTV, highlighting excellence in education. HHTV streams most live television events to the district website. To view the stream, click on the link located at the right-hand side of the home page where you can find an event live stream schedule. Now you can tune in from anywhere on your computer and most mobile devices.
We are back here live at Hatboro-Horsham Hatters Stadium, and different tone to the second half starting this one off as we did. Just got down from the concession stand area and people just kind of shaking their heads, Bill, wondering, wow, what happened? What was that train that went through here in the first half? And the word mismatch was used quite a bit down there in the fan gallery. Looking at something that we had talked about at the end of the first half was just the size difference and the line. And a couple of the Hatters faithful who definitely know what they're talking about said, you know, if they can just compete and get through these first 3 games, they'll be okay. And we'll take a look at the Hatboro-Horsham schedule in a little bit. But, you know, the reality is that you're playing Pennridge, which is now a Continental Conference team. We're not in the Continental Conference anymore because of size, and you're starting to see that mismatch that people talk about. But as you get into the season, you're going to see more evenly matched teams. So the guys I was just talking to in the break, you know, saying that if we can just get through the first 3 games, we get into our actual conference, we should be okay. And then you get some guys healed up, and we'll see what happens the rest of the way.
Yeah, like you said, that train, well, it was a Ram train, and the Rams really killed the Hatters.
Yeah, the Ram Express.
Yeah, Devin Balmer, 4 touchdowns. That incredible game. 12 for 20, 60% pass completion rate. 110 yards passing, 54 yards rushing so far, 164 yards total. But Amir Simmons on the offensive and defensive front. Defensive, 2 tackles, outstanding.
Yeah.
And here's his bright spot on offense, 45-yard rushing so far today. Defense, Zach Hockman, 2 tackles. He devastated the Hatters. Now for the Hatters faithful, Casey Walsh, 10 for 15 so far, 80 yards passing, 45 yards rushing, 132 yards total. 3 interceptions. Not exactly what I would call a good game, considering, this is high school level. Okay, yeah, everybody's going to make mistakes. But when you give up 3 interceptions in the first game, in the first half,
Yeah.
it's kind of sad to see as we have less than a minute halftime as the Hatters come back out on the field. But everybody, both Pennridge and Hatboro-Horsham had sloppy defense, both teams with 2 turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, Pennridge by no means playing a clean game, but just kind of really out-hustling them. And just really showing some of their athletic ability down there. So it's going to be interesting to see because, this type of mistake against a young Hatter squad, 28-6. That type of turnover, that type of mental mistake against somebody like a North Penn, not the same result.
It would be about 14-14.
You look at playing a Pennsbury, a Neshaminy. Some of these bigger favorites in the conference this year. You can't have any mistakes. Because they're going to capitalize huge on those. And some of those 2 teams in particular, the 3 teams, of course, some of the favorites this year: North Penn, Pennsbury, and Neshaminy. And Pennridge looking to compete with them, but according to many of the people's rankings, they're picked to finish second to last in the Continental Conference this year, and they're beating us 28-6. So, figure that one out. In the locals, in the local paper today, and it's just something to talk about. They study the teams, they've been at all the camps for the last 3 weeks. But there's 8 columnists and 6 picked Pennridge tonight, 2 picked Hatboro-Horsham. So far the columnists, the majority of them are correct so far. See what happens here in the second half, though.
Yeah, as it goes right now, Pennridge through the first 24 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 seconds of possession.
Yeah.
The rest going to the Hatters. As it's looking right now, with the pace they're going to go, it's going to be the Hatters get at least another 2 scores, touchdowns, field goals, whatever it may be. They're still looking like they're going to be down by at least 15. Because Pennridge, if they keep mounting the offense that they are, it's not going to be pretty. And final score, I don't even want to know, because if Pennridge continues the way they're going to go, and if they double that score, it's just not going to be pretty.
You take a look, though, too, at the game experience right now. Again, you can't have this stuff during camp. You can't have this pace. So even if let's say they get blown out tonight, all right?
Yeah.
So what? You call it 0 for 1. You go into next week against Quakertown. Casey Walsh knows the pace. He knows how much he can do that. So let's take a quick break here, talk about some sponsorship opportunities once again. And we'll tell you about right now, if your business wants to be in the game, well, you know what? HHTV can definitely take care of you. And you can make athletic advertising part of your winning strategy by promoting your business with signage at Hatter Stadium. Your business can gain exposure to more than 50,000 parents, students, community members, and outside organizations. Contact Jeannie Hagan. But tonight's game, this is the big one. Brought to you tonight by Horizon Services, plumbing and heating and air conditioning, the premier plumbing, heating, and air conditioning company, and by Fast Signs. More than fast, more than signs. Fast Signs.
With 2 locations in Montgomeryville and Doylestown.
Thank you, Bill. All right. Hey, let's take a look at the Hatters schedule. Can we pump that up there? We're talking about next week with Quakertown, another home game for the Hatters, and then the 3rd game of the non-conference schedule against Lansdale Catholic. And then we hit the new American Conference schedule: Upper Moreland, Upper Marion, Springfield Township, Wissahickon, Plymouth Whitemarsh. Upper Dublin is senior night on October 24th. We're bringing that one live. And Cheltenham, and then someone will be in that 11-7 spot in November. And then, of course, Upper Moreland 2. Upper Moreland 2. And this year, the Thanksgiving Day game is at Upper Moreland, so they will be broadcasting that one live on the Hatboro channel. Bob John and the fine scouts down there that always do a great job televising Hatters events, as well as HHTV, will be at the annual rivalry this year between Hatboro-Horsham and Upper Moreland. All right, so Hatboro-Horsham Hatters getting ready to take the field again. And what are we looking for? What are the things to look for here in the second half, Bill?
Hatters need to make clean passes. Already they've given up 3 interceptions. Now, defensive-wise, the right side of the defense, right side of the quarterback, they have been murdered. No, they've been slaughtered. Because the right side of the defense, it's not pretty. As soon as any Pennridge Rams offensive player gets the ball on the right side of the defense, it's either a huge rush, huge pass, or it's another touchdown.
And a deep kick to start off the second half. Way deep in Hatboro-Horsham territory. But some missed tackles. Helmet tackle. No flag again. And Coach Kapusta's looking for a flag on that one because, again, grabbing for the helmet. So Hatboro-Horsham looking to, they're not going to go away quietly there. Good return by Brodus Jr. You said, as a freshman, he does have some wheels. He makes a miss, 2 tackles, gets through, and gets the ball out to the 32-yard line. So Hatboro-Horsham 1st and 10 from the 32.
Looking at the schedule real quick, from Suburban One Sports, it may sound like that 11-7 game may be filled with a away game at Upper Dublin, but they're not confirming it yet.
So it'll be a second Upper Dublin?
It could be a second Upper Dublin, because we notice how we play Upper Moreland 2 times.
Right, yeah.
But that it could be not, or it could be another.
That'd be interesting because Upper Dublin made the playoffs last year, and then Coach is not going to have a filled game if they're in the playoffs. So that'll be interesting to see who that one gets to, and who's in the playoffs at that point, because that's a whole different makeup of that. When you have a Thanksgiving Day game, when they started the playoffs years back as they did, really killed a lot of those annual Thanksgiving Day rivalries because teams are in the playoffs. They don't want to play an extra game just for tradition. They're trying to go for a state championship, so that's a tough call. All right, so Hatboro-Horsham 2nd and 7 now, ball on the 35-yard line. And Walsh looking to make some offense happen here. High backs. And the give is to Naru, and he fakes up the middle, goes off to the left, still on his feet, still picking up yards.
Another horse collar tackle.
Yep, they're not going to call him tonight, so Naru just puts his heads down and runs through it, and he's able to get up to about the 46-yard line. So 1st down, Hatboro-Horsham. So Kingsley Naru showing some great running ability there. And the handoff was going to go up to the middle, but he quickly identifies the hole was closed and bounces out to the left side and able to make some big yards. So the Hatters running game getting it done there on that one.
Maybe after halftime, you grab some water, get some electrolytes with a Gatorade or something. You're refreshed, your body's refreshed, you're ready to go out there, get the second half rolling.
All right, so they give up the middle. Not much going there. 2nd down and probably about a yard there. So 2nd and 9 looks like the call. They're going to give them one more and call it 2nd and 8. So they had some updates from around the conference over the break there. And North Penn and LaSalle keeping it close tonight, 7-6. That's an interesting game there, a non-conference. And Pennsbury is winning right now as well.
And another thing they said was boys soccer at Pennridge 2, Hatters 1 final.
Tough way to start the season. So 2nd and 8. As Alyssa Prue and the Water Angels make their way off the field tonight. Alyssa Prue doing a fine job there as manager of the Hatters football team, as well as an HHTV crew member. We've got to make sure we call her out there. Identify our own. All right, Casey Walsh back under center now with 2 backs in the eye.
10 minutes even left here in the third quarter, second half.
Walsh rolls to his right, another tip pass, but no one around to intercept this one. And it's going to be a completion. And still on his feet. And
Number 45 on the reception.
45. Joe Albano. Remember we talked about Joe in the beginning of the game, not that long ago. I said the guy has some hands. Guess what? He got the first down. Big guy Joe Albano rumbling out of the middle, number 45. And one of the better athletes on the team. He's your inside linebacker, he's your fullback, and there he is out in the flat, able to get a nice receiving pickup of a first down. Ball down to the 41-yard line now.
Hatters are back in I formation.
Yep, they're working things out of the eye here in the second half pretty well.
Man in motion.
That's Ulbrich going to the left-hand side, making twins up top.
Another rush.
And Naru off to the right-hand side. Not able to shake free, but he's able to get about one or two.
Out of bounds by number 20, Joe Next.
I don't want to say things too early here, Mr. Thomas, but I'm starting to change my opinion on Hatter's ball placement. You know, based on first half of play, I thought I'm not seeing much out of them. But early here in the third quarter, 3 minutes in, Hatters have worked their way from their 10-yard line all the way to the 39 in Pennridge in 3 minutes. So hustle up offense. Screen pass.
There's that lefty pass. Yeah, lefty pass with a nice lefty quick screen, but not able to capitalize on it. Actually goes for a loss. But boy, he fired that thing out of there nice and fast. But it will bring up a third down now.
One of the things I noticed with Casey Walsh is he doesn't really bullet the pass. You know, he gets it. When he bullets it, he loses the spiral and it becomes intercepted, as you saw those 3 times. When he lobs and he takes his time, he doesn't, oh, here you go, hey, here's the ball. But he lobs it just so he gets this tight spiral. It gets there, and he gets the completions out of it.
Here's the other thing, too, though. You look at him, he's 5'10" on the depth chart. I don't know if it's a true 5'10" or if that's a depth chart 5'10". Sometimes those numbers get a little inflated in the program. But, you look at that defensive line, they're a lot bigger than 5'10".
Yeah,
so they get one hand up. They're tipping a lot of those balls.
Yeah, most of these guys are averaging 6 feet.
Yeah, Walsh back to pass, almost tipped there, but gets it just over the hands of Simmons, but not able to do much with that. About a 3-yard pickup, so that's going to bring up a fourth down for Hatboro-Horsham.
I've stood next to Casey Walsh. I'm 5'10". He's about, give or take, a quarter of an inch taller or shorter than me, depending on what kind of shoes I'm wearing or not. But he is an athletic player, and if he gets going and he's in the zone, look for the Hatters to really be in the zone offensively. Great rushing. The offensive line is making moves. He's making passes. Passes are clean, and he's not getting picked and tipped as much.
But they're going to figure out what to do with him, too. As the season develops, they're going to figure out his release. They're going to figure out his timing, and he's going to figure out it as a quarterback. I mean, that's the big thing. But you look at this defensive front. This is going to be one of the bigger fronts, bigger athletic defensive lines that he's going to look at all year long. He's just looking at the first game. So they go for it on fourth down, and they're going to have to call a flag on that one. Wow, no flag called. And, boy, wide receiver got mauled, and no flag called.
I'm surprised because, if there was challenges here, the Hatters should have challenged it when the horse collar tackled.
Bill Rowland would have the red flag out several times tonight. If he
I would have had it, this is getting to the point where it's starting to get slaughtered because all the bad calls that the refs have been making, I don't know. I'm usually the one that goes to a Phillies game. I yell at the umpires.
You check that fan, man. Come on, you're the broadcast booth. So no foul called, and Pennridge takes over 1st and 10. It's a give around the left-hand side to Unangst, and no one is going to touch Unangst. He is now going for a 40. Wow. That is a 63-yard touchdown run by number 20, Joe Unangst. 63 yards off the left-hand side.
That score has put 34 on the scoreboard, 34-6 now.
Just breaks through 1 or 2 tackles. Nobody was over there for Hatboro-Horsham. Broke through.
PAT.
That's just amazing.
Is there a time, where you can say, the Hatters offense and defense, all right, better luck next time, guys. As PAT is good, 35-6 here, and it's not looking good for the Hatters.
I tell you, 35-6. The clock's running fast, but
35-6.
And it's just a running game so far. And now Pennridge, it's not going to be long before they really start taking the starters out and just trying to get even more guys some game experience because Hatboro-Horsham just not really giving up much of a fight.
Yeah, it's not looking good, you know. Going back on the game, I said last year, Hatters, Pennridge at home, which was a conference game late in the season. Forget about it. It was 35-7 the final.
So 35-6, 6:49 left to go here in the third quarter, and just, you know, a blowout so far.
Matt Moyer kicks all
So kick deep back again. Pennridge has a nice kickoff team. And it's the freshman, and he's out of bounds when they throw him, but not another two penalties tonight. They're just not looking.
23, that's Isaiah Lewis.
You know, all these tackles, I know these guys are big guys, but you got to understand, you're going against a smaller team. You can't throw them around like a rag doll. You just can't. And, you know, Pennridge is getting away with it, you know. All the tackles, you're physically, he got a good 3 inches off the ground after he threw him, you know. The referees, obviously, okay, yeah, they're letting some things go. Some things should have been flagged, obviously flagged, but they haven't. And, you know, Pennridge obviously dominating, but
Screen pass out to number 9, Matt Reamer, looking to get something going up the sidelines. Down 35-6, and you know, Walsh is just going to have to throw it almost every time now, unless it's a little screen pass to throw him off. But he's going to have to just get the ball downfield. They have a lot of ground to make up now. You know, down 29 points.
Walsh and Reamer connect again. Hatters on the move.
you know, next week against Quakertown, hopefully the Hatters can rebound after this. I'd like to see their offensive and defensive strategy, knowing that Quakertown is a bigger team, just by a little bit. You know,
nice up the middle. And you
nice
know,
by the Hatters.
Showing heart there, number 13, Robert Fitzgerald, going right up the middle. And you know what? They're not quitting. They're down 29 points, but they're running hard. But you're right. Quakertown traditionally has bigger guys, but not always bigger and athletic. What you're seeing tonight for Pennridge is big and athletic. You're seeing some big guys who can move. Quakertown will have big bodies, but traditionally bigger, but they don't always move that fast. Yeah. So it's just big bodies. So it will be interesting to see what they can do because Hatboro-Horsham's athletic. They don't have a lot of size, but they have athletes. Coach Kapusta working really hard in the offseason with them to make sure that they are athletic. You look at Coach Kapusta, he's athletic, and his players reflect that. So up the middle again, and that's Joe Albano.
Joe Albano carries up the middle.
You know, looking at the past couple years, that 1-11 season, our last game of the year came in a win against Quakertown, and that was actually down to the last second when the Hatters were down 25 to 24, and they kick a field goal to win it 27-25
right,
with 2 seconds to go. And I remember, because that was the last game of the season, I was here sitting in the stands, and you know, I just had my head down thinking, oh no, this is going to be an 0-12 season. When was the last time we had a season like that?
It's been a long time. I mean, it's Hatboro-Horsham the last 10 years have had you know, some good programs, some good years, and then some rough ones too. It's been kind of all over the place. Last time Hatboro-Horsham made the playoffs was 2006. 2007, and now that's when they made the field of 16 and went 2 games in, lost to Downingtown West, down at Downingtown West. And it's been up and down for the last couple of years. And you know, I think Coach Kapusta, we have this conference alignment, probably one of the best things could have happened to Hatboro-Horsham, and I think you kind of feel that this year, which is, you know, we're not the juggernaut of North Penn. We're not the juggernaut football school. Lacrosse, we're going to beat your butt. But at the same time, you know, these same guys, when they're playing football, they're good, they're fast, they're athletic, and they're getting stronger. But you know what? They're going to compete this year in the conference where they should be placed. Because by the population of schools, that's where they should be. And you're going to see that this year. And I think they're going to have a successful year. I do think that they will end up with a 500 record or better this year based on the conference they play in. I think they are in the Continental Conference. You're talking about another down year for the program. But I think with the American Conference, they're going to compete. And they're going to play well just based on what's right, which is the actual population of your school.
Yeah, looking at the schedule. You know, you have Upper Moreland, Springfield, Cheltenham, you got Wissahickon. Then you got Upper Dublin and Plymouth Whitemarsh. Both had spectacular seasons. Both made the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
But Hatboro-Horsham has had previous success against them last year in the past couple of years. You know, Plymouth Whitemarsh, obviously, they had an undefeated conference record, but overall 8-3 as a flag is thrown.
Flag.
And that's, you know, the penalty is the only thing really slowing this game down tonight. You look at the clock. This game is flying. I mean, you know, you look at it, it's only quartered, 20-9 at this point. It's a real mover of a game. I mean, you look at most games, you're talking almost 10 o'clock when they're over. But we haven't had a lot of stoppage of play, a lot of running the clock tonight, a lot of running, period, on both sides of the ball, and a lot of completed passes. You know, you talked about the percentages of both quarterbacks, and they're fairly high. So that'll keep that clock running. But so penalty on the field, and going to benefit the Hatters.
So that'll give the Hatters 1st and 10.
So they get a first down out of it, ball down to the 45-yard line. It's 1st and 10. 3:53 left to go in the third quarter.
And with that 5-yard penalty, it'll be 1st and 10 at the 40.
Yep.
And you can see Pennridge was expressing their disagreement with the ref's call.
Walsh back to pass, and in plenty of time this time. Oh, wait. I spoke too soon. And taken down by big number 50, and that would be Sophie Good.
Sophie Good.
Sophie Good. Ryan's the coffee the coach told us before it came out. Sophie Good, another one of their captains this year. Big number 12, 5'11", 235. So he's low to the ground but comes in hard at 235. And he's mobile. Just came in at his defensive tackle spot for a got Walsh down in the backfield. So it's now 2nd and 12, ball in the 42.
You know, looking at what Casey Walsh is doing as they go back in the I formation, the Hatters offense, he almost looks like Michael Vick. Because remember when the Eagles weren't doing that good, the offensive line wasn't protecting them.
Bill. I'm an English teacher. Come on, you're killing me. When the Eagles weren't doing that well.
When the Eagles were not doing that
you
well.
Can't take the teacher out of it. Go ahead.
When the Eagles were not doing that well, the offensive line was not protecting the quarterback.
Right.
Hence, Vick got hurt. And as you look tonight, Casey Walsh is taking a lot of hits, all from the front, the side, and his legs.
All right, listen, as a line coach, I am going to now defend the line. When your quarterback moves out of the pocket, the play that you came in with, the blocking assignments are totally done at that point. So you now have to block on the run. If you don't have a mobile line, that's hard to do. You know I'm blocking that guy, that gap. Well, my quarterback just moved into a different gap. My blocking assignment's totally different. Casey Walsh now rolling to his right, looking up. Hockman read him like a book again, and they are saying incomplete pass. Dan Hockman actually could have had / should have had, depending upon which angle you see, his third pick of the night. But they're saying that it was an incomplete pass because he didn't actually have the pass first. But wow, Hockman again reading that curl route
for the Hatters.
And that's the third time that they would have gone to that curl route, and the third time Hockman just read it. They've got to find other routes. They've got to find other routes across the middle because Dan Hockman is just licking his chops back there at his cornerback spot and saying, please throw it here.
Yeah, the Pennridge offense. These Rams, I don't know if they did or not, but these guys are hungry for the football.
Oh, yeah. And they're trying to make, hey, it's Friday Night Lights for everybody. You make a big interception, you make a touchdown out of it, that's a highlight reel for the rest of your life. Nope. Who jumped?
Flag on the play.
Was there encroachment?
Looked like the Rams were moving.
Or is it going to be on Pennridge?
Before the ball was snapped. So the Hatters will pick up 5 on the play.
All right, well, it looks like the penalty is going to be against Pennridge. Hatters pick up 5.
Falls here on 4th down. Make it 4th and 3 now.
That'll be Pennridge's 4th penalty of the game. Yep. Hatters need to take advantage of this. They're deep in the zone.
Yeah. It's the sloppiness you got to watch. 35-6 is our score. 2 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Hatboro-Horsham with a 4th and 3 on the 33-yard line. Walsh back in the shotgun.
Pennridge Crown's getting into it, trying to distract
Walsh is going to try to take the 3 himself, and nope. Evades one tackle, and I think he's going to be just short, actually.
Diving forward, looking for the
Looks like he's going to be a few inches short of the first down, Bill. with that spot.
Have to see where the spot is. Looks a little short.
Yeah, it looks about a yard short. As
Ball
RBA
will go
announcer,
back to
Mr.
the
Blake
Rams
Kaiser,
there.
echoing our
First
sentiments.
and 10 at the 31-yard line.
It's going to be a first down.
Wow, gift.
Maybe they're feeling sorry for us because we're losing by.
No, they just flipped the other way, brother. It's a first down for Pennridge.
Oh. Because I saw him there first and 10, and I was like, oh.
Just short, Casey Walsh is. First down, Pennridge Rams. They take over on the 31-yard line.
When you get your hopes up, everything is true.
Don't call like a homer, man. Come on, you're better than that. So Pennridge looking to put the nails in the coffin here late in the third quarter. Still have all, well, we got a new quarterback in there now. And there's new wheels on the bus for Pennridge, and it is number 44, Blake Schoenmeyer.
That's Blake Schoenmeyer in the game.
Blake Schoenmeyer, another senior, 5'8", 152, took off like a freight train coming out of the backfield with a huge pickup for Pennridge. And new quarterback in for them is number 6, Matt Kranick. He's a 6'1", 195 junior. He's a new quarterback in there for Pennridge. So Pennridge puts in some subs, some fresh faces. We used to say fresh uniforms back in the day because they actually used to get dirty. Now we have turf everywhere and there's no dirty uniforms. Another interesting point of interest for Pennridge this year is the fact that, you know, Pennridge for the last 80 years has played at a place called Poppy Yoder Field. And Poppy Yoder Field, a lot of great memories up there for Pennridge. They have a new field, but we'll talk a little bit about that in a second. Let's talk about HHTV stuff, shall we? Talk about HHTV and some of the stuff we'll be bringing to this year. Let's check out the fall sports schedule. We have a busy one for you. This September alone, we have 2 more events for you. We have the field hockey match on the 16th against CB West. We'll be bringing you boys soccer versus Souderton on the 23rd. Heading into October, girls soccer against Quakertown. Also on the 13th, the volleyball against Abington. And on the 24th, we're back here at the stadium. Much cooler evening, I'm sure, against Upper Dublin at 7 p.m. And all games live streamed on HHTV on our homepage. So you can always watch online if you can't watch on your television. www.Hatboro-Horsham.org. HHTV in its 10th year of existence, 11th year actually, proud to bring you all of these amazing, wonderful things that we do for the students of Hatboro-Horsham through our television network. Back here live, 31 is the yard line. 1st and 10 is the down and distance. And Pennridge in control, as they have been since their first possession. Oh, fumble! Kranick not able to handle the snap, and fresh fingers out there for the Rams, and he's fumbling.
Coincidentally, on that last play, Pennridge went from their own 31 to the Hatters 31.
Yeah. So a minute 30 left to go in the third quarter. And third quarter didn't go exactly as planned, because Hatboro-Horsham not able to make up any ground yet. And Pennridge now has their second team in.
2nd and 17 on the Hatters 38 for Pennridge.
So we're talking about Pennridge, and Poppy Yoder Field is gone. They have a turf stadium. Another fumble. Kranick can't handle the snap tonight, and they're having trouble with the exchange here on the second team. I'll tell you, there's 2 more fumbles to add to your list on the Bill stats. So Hatters ball. They're able to recover that one. So Hatboro-Horsham still has their starters in. We'll see if Pennridge starters are still in a defense, and I'm seeing some of the same guys coming out.
That is Pennridge's 3rd turnover of the game. You know, Hatters really need to take advantage of this because, you know, you go up against the other schools,
yeah,
you're not going to get as many turnovers. I mean, okay, this is the first game of the season. Everybody's getting their nerves out, but you know, you get into week 3, week 4, week 5, not a lot of turnovers are going to happen. But you guys, you got to take the turnovers, you got to take them seriously, and you got to play the ball, and you got to play the ball well.
Okay, so a couple starters out on defense, but still Pennridge keeping a lot of their first teamers in. But Dan Hockman, who we've been talking about a lot in that cornerback spot, number 2, he's out right now as Casey Walsh is brought down again in the background. But in there at cornerback now, on where Walsh likes to throw that ball, is Isaiah Lewis. And number 23, you're going to see him on the bottom of your screen in the cornerback spot. And so mobile, athletic quarterback that we saw on the offensive side of the ball. So keep your eyes peeled. They got some athletes that can move around. and but they have not gotten their defensive line out. And those guys are still coming strong, and you just saw Casey Walsh with a 4-yard loss there, 2nd and 14 now, ball back to the 31. And Hatter's offensive line really has to figure out, who's coming through these holes and how they're crashing, because they don't have an answer for them yet, Bill. Walsh back under center, the 2 backs in the eye. And at the last play of the 3rd quarter, it's another screen pass, and able to get that one just 4 yards shy of the line of scrimmage, the first down marker, excuse me. And that's going to wrap up the 3rd quarter now. 35-6 is our score. Pennridge well in control heading into the 4th quarter.
Hatters so far lost 15 yards on the rush, which is not good any level.
And we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after these messages here on the Hatboro-Horsham Television Network.
HHTV streams most live television events to the district website. To view the stream, click on the link located at the right-hand side of the home page where you can find an event live stream schedule. Now you can tune in from anywhere on your computer and most mobile devices.
All right, we're back now, and 3rd and 4 is the call. Ball on the 41-yard line. Let's see if Walsh can do something here at the start of the 4th quarter and just trying to get some positive yards. Not much to look at there in the 3rd quarter, as that one flew by and not many stats for the Hatters. So Walsh deep drop and another screen pass to Naru. Naru finds his blocks well past the first down marker, and that was a nice play. Casey Walsh dropped back about 10 yards on that one. That was about a 10-step drop for him. But what it did was it really spread out the defense. And screen pass to Naru, and then Naru able to just find blocks out in the middle. So nice heads-up play. Kingsley Naru really made that one happen. Short dump to him right around to the line of scrimmage, and he just read his blocks and took off from there. But great speed from a stop made that play happen. So that was all Kingsley Naru. Good job by him.
So
First and 10 now, 43-yard line.
So far for Casey Walsh, he's 15 for 24 on the pass department.
He's lined up in the shotgun now, so we'll probably see another pass here unless he's going to do something short to Naru, who's back there with him. And Walsh able to handle that one, and it's a short give off to the left-hand side. And a fumble on the play, but the bounce goes back to the Hatters. So they did turn it over, but they got it right back. And that was our freshman, number 20, Calvin Brodus Jr. So Calvin Brodus Jr. goes off the left-hand side, so we're trying to see that speed that you were talking about, as a freshman. There he is playing Friday Night Lights, and he's all over the field. But he does fumble the ball, but the ball bounces right back into the hands of Naru, and Naru able to pick it up. So it is now 2nd and 6 on the 39-yard line. Hatters on the move.
If Calvin Brodus, he gets all 4 years with this program, he's got potential to go places. This guy's got speed. I've seen him when he was just starting out in 7th grade football. Kid is amazing. He plays lacrosse too. He is just strong. Nice
completion there, number 1, Charlie Obrecht. He's been quiet since the 1st quarter. We talked about him in the beginning, and then we just kind of we haven't been able to call his name or number a lot. So Charlie Obrecht, really one of the guys that we're looking to be calling a lot tonight on the receiving end, but they just have not been able to get the ball out to him. So Walsh finds him. It's 1st and 10 on the 25-yard line, and Hatters, here they come. Let's see if they can keep the momentum going here, Bill. 10:29 left to go in the game.
Now, if I'm doing the math correctly, just to tie this game, you would need 10 minutes and 10 seconds just of possession.
Well, big pitch out to Brodus, and Brodus looks like he could get the first down. He hit the first down marker, before he went out of bounds. So either it's going to be a first down or a second one. So the band comes back into the stands, raises the audible levels here. We'll see if the Hatters can respond. Not sure what's going on there. They haven't moved the down marker. Still have it on first down on the field.
They have it as a second
Scoreboard
down.
says second down on the scoreboard. And it's a holding call on the Hatters. That's what is going on. So we'll repeat first down with a holding call. Now second down. But they haven't moved it back. It's interesting. So it's a first down on the field.
Huh.
I guess offsetting. So it is first down on the field, second down on the scoreboard.
It's going to be first and 10 for the Hatters.
All right, do over.
Repeat first down. That's always good for the Hatters, you know.
And now they'll move them back. There we go. Now they got it all sorted out. Now they move it back. So it's a first and 20.
Oh, that works. First and 20.
Thank you, sir.
So it's a first and 20 now. So a lot of confusion, but on the field it's a first and 20. Repeat of the first down. And the Hatters go deep and almost have it picked off. So bodies flying out there in space on a first and 20 as Walsh airs it out for Paranisi. And Paranisi is surrounded, double teamed out there on the right-hand side. So second and 20 now.
Yeah, next week that game is home against Quakertown. It'll be the end of the first school week here at Hatboro-Horsham School District.
Are you ready, sir?
Oh, I've been ready.
Ready to be a student again?
Yes, I'm ready to start my sophomore year.
We're ready to. Looking forward to another school year here at HH. And, the end of the summer is always mixed emotions, but it's always nice to come back and start it up again.
I get to see the best teacher in the world.
Hey,
So.
you're not going to get a better grade because of that. All right, give his to Brodus Jr.
I don't care. I love Mr. Thomas's class. He's he's a really cool teacher. You know, if you were watching at home, kids, and you were coming to Hatboro-Horsham, you definitely want to consider the television production classes, the broadcast journalism classes.
Love it.
He is an amazing teacher.
Love it. He's selling it.
He is one of the best teachers we've ever had. His skills and
Dude, I didn't tell him to say any of this. I guarantee it.
his skills are incredible. Mr. Thomas, F217. If you need somebody to talk to, anything. You want a shot at HHTV? This is the man you go see.
There you go. And the good thing is you're doing your homework right now. Broadcast journalism class. You are doing your homework. All right, so third and 20. Big gains needed by the Hatters. And it's Walsh in the shotgun. Looking to his left, looking center, and he's going to keep it. One guy to beat. Slides in. Back to the original line of scrimmage, a little bit short actually. So it's going to be about 4th and 11 now, and they're obviously going to go for it here with 9 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter.
Gets the men back here, brings up fourth down for the Hatters.
It's like Hatters called it.
So they give it 4th and 12. I was more gracious than the refs, so it's 4th and 12 now, and Hatters really starting to sort things out. And timeout on the field, Hatboro-Horsham. So let's just bring you up to date here as the band gives us the Hey Baby chant. 8:48 left to go in the game. 35-6 is our score. Hatboro-Horsham looking to try to get their first points in the second half with a 4th and 12 coming up, ball on the 27-yard line. All right. And as we have a break in the action, let's just tell you about a couple more wonderful things here tonight. The Veterans Monument, we've been working on that one since last year. If you want to donate, please send a check payable to the Veterans Monument. Great way to celebrate the veterans of the past of Hatboro and Horsham, and all proceeds go towards the building of the monument in front of Hatboro-Horsham High School. So again, the Veterans Monument, to donate, you can send a check payable to the Veterans Monument to Hatboro-Horsham High School. All proceeds just go to that monument. So please donate today. 4th and 12, ball on the 27-yard line. Again, 35-6 is our score. 8:48 left to go as the timeout comes to a close. Coach Mike Capusta giving some valuable advice there, and let's see what play they come up with for this 4th and 12, Bill. Obviously, it has to be some kind of some kind of a short intermediate pass. The long
I
stuff
would
has
not
more.
do a pass here. You are in field goal range.
We don't kick field goals. That's not going to help us. Let's see what they do.
At
So
least
it's
get us
Walsh
some
in the
points.
shotgun.
4th and 12, they're going for it?
Of course, this late in the game. And Walsh is brought down by, guess who? Any ideas? It'd be number 11 again, the captain, Amir Simmons. So another sack for Amir Simmons. It's been a one-man Simmons show tonight, and it's a turnover on downs for Hatboro-Horsham. 8:43 left to go, and Pennridge will take over on the 30-yard line. So Amir Simmons just not being able to be picked up there by anybody from Hatboro-Horsham. And they're going to need miracles at this point.
Yeah, Amir Simmons tonight, 5 tackles, 2 sacks.
He made a sack at the end of the first half. Put a punctuation point on that. And now he might have just killed one of the last big drives for the Hatters. So they can grind out this clock. They can go home early. So Hatboro-Horsham still playing defense down there. Good to see. Number 44 tries it around the right-hand side. He was that steamroller, Blake Schoenemeyer, who had a real nice run late in the third quarter that went down the sidelines, but this time Hatboro-Horsham has an answer for him. So tick, tick, tick. They're going to try to use this clock. It's already down to 8:15 now, Pennridge. It's 2nd and 7 for them, and I can't imagine they're going to go to air here. I'm expecting to see a lot of running here by Pennridge. So we'll see if Kranick has a little bit more stick on his hands and able to hand this one off. Handles the snap well, and ball goes up the gut to, I got a number for you, number 48. That's Nick Hirsch, fullback for Pennridge. He's 6'1", 210 junior. You know, even a lot of their second string guys are bigger than our starters. You know, you look at Nick Hirsch there, 6'1", 210. You know, he's a bigger kid. He's playing fullback. He's a second string fullback. You know, you see a difference. And 35-6 is some of the difference in score right now based on some of the size difference.
Yeah, like
this time Kranick's in the shotgun.
I'm dying to know, because looking at Pennridge bench, I see maybe 1 or 2 guys who are under 6 foot. You know, and looking at the Hatters, the average height maybe 5'10".
Yeah, you're calling
5'11".
a lot of low numbers. You're right. Well, that was a give from a shotgun. It was a handoff underneath, and it looks like they are going to be just short of the first down. Nope.
No.
They gave it to him. Okay. First down, Pennridge. So it was right there. They gave it to him with the spot. 1st and 10, Pennridge Rams. 7:06 left to go. 35-6 is our score, and Pennridge stays on the move. Number 6, Matt Kranick under center, actually in the shotgun right now for Pennridge. 2 backs behind him. Clock continues to tick, under 7 minutes left to go. And again, the ball goes to Blake Schoenemeyer. So Schoenemeyer off to the right-hand side, and Pennridge just really running the clock at this point. Going to pick up a few first downs and just continue to let that clock run all the way down. And, you know, they'd be quite happy going out of here with a 35-6 first night of the season win. Who wouldn't?
Yeah, you take that momentum into the second week. You know, it gives you a lot of courage, you know.
Oh, and Quakertown, you know, they have a lot of film to watch now. But I'll tell you what, Hatboro-Horsham, they'll be watching a lot of film too and seeing a lot of these mistakes and seeing how to tighten things up so they can take on the Panthers next week. So give us off to the left-hand side to number 24. That's Matt Farida. Called his name a couple times in the first half as well. He's like a third running back for them. And taking some of the running back duties here in the fourth quarter as well. So again, under now 6 minutes left to go, a 39 ball on the 41-yard line.
You know, I've seen games, you know, a couple years ago, and the Hatters were really good against Upper Moreland. They had a Mercy Rule Thanksgiving game.
Yep.
Now, if there is the Mercy Rule, when does it come into effect?
It'd be in effect. If it was, if we didn't have a touchdown by now, it'd be in effect. It's 35 points, so the only thing keeping it not running right now is the 6 points that we have. So Kranick back in the shotgun. They don't do a lot under center. Pennridge back in the shotgun. A little pressure now.
Oh.
And Hatboro-Horsham almost had a sack there, and that might have been Joe Albano, but whoever it was is still down on the field for Hatboro-Horsham. So we'll see who that is. And it looks like hamstring pull from up here. So we'll get a shot at who that is, but you know, he broke right through, almost had a sack, but then looks like the leg just got caught a little bit for him. When he rolls over, we'll see his number. I can't see it from up here, Bill.
Neither can I. Looks like something 4.
I saw a 4.
64.
64. So number 64, that's Luke Kwan. Big interior lineman who won the job this year. And, you know, Luke Kwan, 5'10", 235. Nice big inside lineman, but looks like pulling up on a hamstring there. So trainer Steve will walk him off. And HH with 5:14 left to go in the game is looking at Pennridge with a 4th and 12 right now. So Hatboro-Horsham could get the ball back here if they could find a stop. They could get the ball back. So pressure coming on 4th and 12, trying to get the punter. Decent punt. Going to get a nice roll, and that's going to go deep. Still going. So all the way down to the 11-yard line. So Hatboro-Horsham now has 89 yards of real estate if they want to try to make something happen here with 4:53 left to go. So great punt for Pennridge. Huge roll, big bounce. And they're going to spot it at the 13 where it went out, but still, that's a lot of green, Bill. 35-6.
Honestly, I don't know why the Hatters would do that to themselves. It just makes it harder on themselves just to
That's a good
get,
kick.
Just to get.
Yeah, that's a good kick. So, I mean, 4:53. Walsh is just going to sling it, I'm sure, at this point. He's going to have to. So we'll see what the Hatters do here. 4:53 left to go. 35-6 is our score. 1st and 10. Casey Walsh is going to go under center here. We'll see how quick this release is going to be. It's going to have to be pretty quick.
That's not Walsh. It's number 7 then for the Hatters.
Oh, so they went to they went to the backup quarterback then. All right, so Hatboro-Horsham giving Chris Edwards a look here. So 35-6. They're also giving some looks to some new faces here. Number 7, Chris Edwards, a freshman, 5'11", 145, and he goes in. How about that, huh? Another freshman, and Friday Night Lights, 4:22 left to go in the game, and you get to play as a high school quarterback.
I'm sure.
That's a lot of kids.
I'm sure
right there.
Chris Edwards. He's probably calm on the outside. On the inside, he's probably got them butterflies.
Can you imagine? So he gives it off. And a nice pitch. You see a number there.
Bring him down
like
to 25.
number 20. So it's his fellow freshman, Calvin Brodus Jr. So it's the 2 freshmen right now. And they pick up some yards. So the freshmen not playing like freshmen, Bill. Not what you would expect. So a little game experience. And they're moving the ball like, you know what? Well, we've always been here. Boy.
We'll give
I'll
credit.
look for those boys in my class this year teaching freshman English. I like to
give
have them.
credit to Mr. Rob DiPietro. He is the head coach.
Oh, he's a freshman guru for all these years. He's not doing any more, though. He has 2 new assistants, 2 new coaches down there doing KV football this year.
I remember when I was there, he was the football coach, and Keith Valley was undefeated for the longest time.
I was part of his staff one year. I had a chance to coach with Coach DiPietro my first year coaching in 2005. And Coach DiPietro doing a good job down there for a lot of years. So we'll see what his products do as Hatboro-Horsham just giving some game experience here. Still down 35-6, 3:14 left to go. It is 2nd and 7 now for the Hatters. And again, number 7, Chris Edwards, the freshman in. Pennridge coaches are done for the night. The scouting crew up here, the sideline crew, they are unplugging their cameras, they're unplugging their headsets, and they're calling it a night. They're leaving the booth here, Bill, as Pennridge is just about sealing this one up here with 2:40 left to go.
I think they got a couple nails left, and
And the give is to Brodus again, and Brodus just met two heavy hitters there.
Running hard to the outside, picks up about
2:25 left.
Able to pick up a few yards there, Bill, but it's going to be a third down.
Yeah, I think, with 2 minutes left, by the time they come back to the line, you got 3rd and 3,
And they'll go for it on 4th down again. I mean, there's really no reason not to. Either way, it doesn't really hurt you. But so the Hatters faithful came out in good numbers tonight. Let's hope that they return next week to watch Quakertown, which should be that should be a much more balanced game. I think you see Pennridge, you see the size, the enrollment of the school, how many guys are coming out. And, Hatboro-Horsham was doing all right there for the first half of the first quarter, and then really things just started to fall apart.
Yeah, I know. I will be here next Friday night.
Absolutely.
So I'm always here. I'm looking at the players.
Well, Hatboro-Horsham rolls to his right. Pass is complete, so his first completion as a Hatter quarterback.
Somebody should give that ball to that kid right there. That's his first pass as a high school quarterback.
To Joe Lee, yeah. So his first Hatters first down, his first Hatters completion is to number 3, Joe Lee.
1:30 to go here.
And 1:30 left to go, so a minute and a half left to go in the game. And the Hatters have a first down. Let's see what happens with Mr. Edwards here. Getting a good look tonight. Get another series.
I'm eager to see, based on the appearance of Casey Walsh, I wonder if Coach Kapusta is going to go with freshman Chris Edwards next week.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure you're looking at just some good game experience for the man, knowing that he's in against the 2nd, 3rd string guys over at Pennridge. And that's just good coaching. That's good experience. You're going to get all your guys some real Friday night varsity looks because it's so much different than anything they've ever experienced before. So under a minute left to go. It's still 35-6, 2nd and 10 with the incomplete pass. Stops the clock. 56 seconds left to go. So Edwards incomplete pass there. But no, I think Walsh did a decent job tonight. I like the way he plays. I like he's got guts. I mean he plays with his head is constantly looking. He needs to stop looking at his receivers so much and really needs to look off those receivers because his cornerbacks are reading them like books. But overall, again, for being his ship now and for how many injuries they have out, Hatboro-Horsham, not a horrible game considering the circumstances. And they should have capitalized more on the turnovers. And if they would have, it could have had a different story. But if I'm a coach, I look at this and say, yeah, there's a lot of things we need to work on. And I'm not surprised by the score. But if I'm Coach Kapusta, I look at it and say, we got a lot of things we can work on, and we can get better. I look at it and say, we're up against more evenly matched teams. We're going to compete. Clock continues to run here, and Hatboro-Horsham may run one more play. Looks like they're coming back to the line of scrimmage to get another one off. It's 3rd and 3 right now.
20 seconds left.
And we'll see. They'll get one more off here, and then they'll let the clock die down. So Edwards will go under center.
10 seconds.
He'll get one more off here. Play is called. Last play of the night. Here it is. And it's going to be a pass. He's going to throw it. Nice throw. Nice spiral deep. And it's going to be picked off at the end. And they'll down it. And that'll wrap that one up. 1.4 left, so they'll just throw a kneel on this one. And 35-6 will be our final score tonight. So, Edwards had a nice ball there. He just he threw it in the traffic, but it had some distance. He had some strength behind it, and he stepped into the throw. So he doesn't throw that one in the traffic, you might have a different outcome. So, but Coach Kapusta has a lot to look at. The Hatters coaches have a lot of film to watch, and overall, good effort tonight. I like the play of Kingsley Naru. I really think that he showed how he can make plays out there in space, and they have a lot of things to fix, but overall, I think they will.
All right, well, unfortunately, Hatters don't win the first game of the season, but they got next week against Quakertown. Looks like Pennridge is going to set up for one play.
Yeah, and they'll kneel this one down, let the clock go out, and if you're following the rest of the year, you're watching Pennridge football, keep an eye on number 11, Amir Simmons, because he's going to be a playmaker the rest of the year for the Pennridde Rams. That'll wrap that one up. 35-6 is our final score tonight as we bring this one to a close. Hatboro-Horsham 0-1 to start the season. Pennridge 1-0. For Dave Thomas, that's me. Bill Rowland, Bob Anderson in the booth. Mr. Andrew Morse, the entire HHTV crew working hard here on the sidelines in the new HHTV decal truck behind the stadium. Great pleasure to bring all of this to you. Once again, we'd like to thank our sponsors tonight one more time. We'd like to thank our sponsors for helping us out tonight. Tonight's game brought to you by Horizon Services, Premier Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Company, and by Fast Signs. More than fast, more than signs. Fast Signs.
With 2 locations in Montgomeryville and Doylestown.
All right, and that'll wrap it up for us again. Our score tonight, 35-6, the Pennridge Rams over your Hatboro-Horsham Hatters. Have a great night, everybody, and thanks for joining us.